Hope you're having a brilliant day. My name is Malaika, and today I'm going to be interviewing Zineb Amrani. This is the third video in this series where I interview women in tech. So if you're interested in those, there's more. I'll link them down below or up in the corner. So Zineb is a data science manager at Facebook, and she's really, really talented and sweet. So without further ado, let's get into the interview. Hi Zineb, how are you doing today?
Hi, Malika. Everything is great today. Thank
It's
you.
great to
How
have
are
you
you?
here. So, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, of course. So my name is Zineb Amrani. I'm a data science manager and I work at Facebook. And I'm from Morocco and I come from a background of, I've studied mostly math and I've lived in Morocco, France, and England now.
That's fun. I've lived in the US, so I'm also not from here, obviously. So do you want to talk about your current role and describe what you do, like on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, so my current role is being a data science manager. And when you work in a product organization, which is my case, the role of the data science manager is to make sure that data is leveraged to make product decisions. So when you define what a product should be doing, what are the features of your product, you use data and interpretation of data that you've collected in order to make those decisions. The mission statement, if you want to use
Yeah.
the jargon of tech companies of the data science team is to build great products using data.
How did you choose this role and like what's your favorite thing about it?
So I guess when I started studying and even when I started working, data science wasn't a thing. So it's really a thing of the last 6, 7 years, and I started looking for jobs about 10 years ago. And I guess the way I transitioned naturally into data science is probably due to my interest in mathematics.
Mhm.
So, interpreting data is also about being able to build models and to see patterns, that type of skill set. And also the fact that it's extremely powerful to have
Yeah.
proof that your suggestion is the right one. So the ability to drive change and to build amazing things leveraging my passion, which was mathematics, is probably, I'd say, the reason why I'm in this role today.
That's nice. Do you have a degree in mathematics or like what was your education like?
Yeah, so I can tell you about my educational background. So in high school, where I studied, you had some choice of topics that you could
Yeah.
take and specialize in, although that would just be some extra color on your curriculum. The curriculum is very generalist, and you add some topics based on your interests. So I would always go towards science and more specifically towards math. And after I got my high school degree, which is called baccalaureate in Morocco, I um, I went to France and I did something that is not very well known here in the UK. So I spent 2 years doing very intense mathematics and physics. It's called classe préparatoire. And the purpose of these very intense 2 years is to prepare for an exam,
Oh,
and that exam will define what you're able to, like schools that you're able to join afterwards. So after preparing those exams, I joined a school of engineering. So this was in France, and in France, engineering is not necessarily computer science or software engineering. Is like it defines the type of jobs where you use science background primarily. So you
I
could be
see.
like a civil engineer or a biology engineer.
Mhm.
And in my case, it meant that for 3 years I was preparing after this exam. I was preparing a Master of Science, so it's pretty like international type of degree, and in generalist science with a specialization in applied mathematics. Back then, my field of application for mathematics was finance.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
What is something really unique or exciting about your job?
Yeah. So currently in my job, as I said, I'm responsible for making sure that data is leveraged to build products. But I'm also a team leader or a manager. And what is really exciting is in the field of tech, really the fact that you're building great products that can reach billions of people is because you have great talents in your team. One thing that is extremely exciting to me is being able to match the people's passions and skills to the product needs that we want to build. And there is kind of a positive feedback loop, right? Because people
Mhm.
are talented, you can build a great product, and because your products are great, then it inspires people to learn new skills and to imagine super innovative ways
Yeah.
to make those products even greater.
Hmm. Okay. How is managing different from being a data scientist itself?
I think it's about one way that people think about analytics or data science. These words sometimes are interchangeable. It depends on who you
Mhm.
talk to. You have like the analytical thinking and the analytical doing. The analytical thinking is probably about being able to look at a problem space. That's also jargon. When we say problem space, it's just like some situation or some type of users or some type of businesses. And so looking at this problem space and breaking it down into areas where your product can have an impact, and being able to prioritize these areas, saying one is larger than another. And the way you say that is you define some kind of metric or measurement of what larger means. It could be larger in money, or it could be larger in number of customers, or things like that. So that would be analytical thinking.
Mhm.
Analytical doing is actually when you know that you have your areas and that you need probably to stack rank them somehow, or to say this is going to be my area of focus over another one. You do that based on data that you've collected. You've looked at the data, you've modeled it in a way that allows you to see patterns.
Yeah.
You've probably spent a bit of time using SQL, R, Python, to aggregate your data, to combine it into new metrics, etc. So when you have analytical thinking, which is the first thing that I was mentioning, and analytical doing, um, a data scientist will do half and half of
See.
those. When you're a people manager, you probably do a bit less doing and
And more
focus on
thinking.
thinking and empowering people to learn the skills so that their doing is becomes more and more uh, they become more and more proficient at the
Mhm.
doing parts.
So let's finish with this question. What advice would you give students like me who might be interested in a job like yours?
So I think when when you're a student, one thing that is amazing is that you have a lot of time that is organically dedicated to learning.
Yeah.
And my advice would be to focus on learning something that you're passionate about, and to not let anybody tell you that your passion is not suitable for you because you're a girl, or because you're not British, or because whatever reason they may give you. Um, the the thing to remember is, in a job like mine, it's true that you will find a lot of people that have some kind of science, computer science degree, maybe PhDs sometimes. And of course, mathematics is something pretty common in the people's background. But the reality is, people have come into this job through so many different paths. I have recently hired somebody that has done a pretty deep degree in literature, which doesn't seem like
Yeah.
it doesn't seem obvious to people that somebody that has studied literature will end up doing data science in the end. But this person navigated from literature into behavioral science, and behavioral science is a lot of understanding the humans, but also being able to map the human behavior into models. And this is how they came into data science and ended up taking on data science roles in the end.
Yeah.
So the important thing is that you do something that you're interested about.
Thank you. It was really nice talking to you. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thank you. I'm very proud
Um,
of you for doing this.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I think that's it. Is there
Yeah.
anything else you'd like to say?
No, 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 no. Have you done a lot of these?
I've done 3. No, I think you're the third one. Yeah.
Yeah. So you've done Gita, and
I've
who
done
else?
Rita and I did my aunt.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think you're so blessed to have a lot of people around you that
Yeah,
work
I want
in.
to share that.
Is that something that you're interested in taking?
Sorry?
Is that something that you're interested in doing as a career?
Yeah,
Like,
it definitely is.
yeah.
Mhm.
So software engineer,
Yeah, probably.
amazing.
I mean, I like data too, so maybe data scientist, but I also like web development, so maybe engineer. We'll see.
You have all the time in the world to
Mhm.
figure that out.
Yeah.
Cool.
I
Thank you.
also like design, so that could be fun.
Yeah, it's you. I'm pretty confident that you can find something that is at the crossroads of all these amazing things
Yeah.
that you're interested in.
So thanks for talking with me. Um, yeah, I think that's it.
Of course, it was my pleasure.
Okay, bye.
Bye, Malaika.